Hi guys, I'm Claire Aiken, the Fiddle Leaf Fig Girl, and today I want to give you some steps to save your Fiddle Leaf Fig in a hurry. Now I know if things are going wrong with your plant, it can be really scary, and a lot of times the truth is that these plants can go downhill in a hurry. I'm talking a matter of 24 to 48 hours. They can really go from good to terrible, so you want to act quickly. The first thing you're going to want to do if you find out that your plant isn't happy is figure out what's going wrong with it. And the thing I recommend doing is actually taking the plant out of the pot and looking at the root system. Now the root system is really where the health of your plant starts from. That is where either you're going to get root rot, or you're going to notice that your plant is too dry, or you're going to notice maybe that it's root bound and it doesn't have enough space or soil to be healthy. So examine the root ball itself and see if you can tell what's going wrong. Is it too wet? Is there too much soil? Is the soil moist? Is it too dry? Is there too many roots and not enough soil? Just take a look and see what you think is going wrong with your root ball. The second thing is to assess the light of your plant. How much light is it getting? Is it in the middle of a wall? Is it in a corner? Is it not getting enough light? That is one of the biggest things that I see go wrong with Fiddle Leaf Figs, is people put them not necessarily where is best for the plant, but where they look best in the home. And if that's in a corner or not near a window, that's going to be a big problem for you. So go ahead and move your Fiddle Leaf Fig to the sunniest location in your house to give it the best chance of survival. You can actually move it outside if you live in a warm place. Put it outside in indirect light or the shade, and it will really get enough energy to help fight whatever is going wrong with it. The next thing is take a look and see if your plant is really dirty. Now, a lot of people don't think about this because, these plants over time collect a lot of dust, but being really dirty can actually starve your plant of not only sunlight, but also the carbon dioxide that it needs to exist. And so having a really dirty plant can be bad for the health of the plant. So you're gonna wanna clean off your plant. You could take it outside and hose it off. You could put it in the shower. You could wipe it down. We actually make a leaf armor product that you can spray and wipe on your plant to get it totally clean and make it green and gorgeous. Now, the next most common mistake I see that you're gonna wanna rule out is too much water. So when was the last time you watered your plant? Can you repot it and let it dry out a bit? Can you just hold off on the water for a week or two and make sure that it has enough air and not too much water sitting in the soil? That is really the most common way that people kill their plants, is too much water. And so I would make sure that your plant has really good drainage and that you're not overwatering it. The next thing you're gonna wanna think about is, when was the last time your plant got any nutrition? Now in the wild, these plants are constantly getting nutrition from the decomposition in the soil. But in a pot in your home, maybe you put your plant in a pot a year ago and you haven't fed it since. Well, it's probably starving. A lot of times with nutritional deficiencies, we see yellowing of the leaves, lack of growth, just sort of an unhappy plant. So you're gonna wanna make sure to feed your plant. Now we make the perfect fertilizer for a Fiddle Leaf Fig, and that's our Fiddle Leaf Fig plant food. It is a 3:1:2 NPK ratio, and then it is enriched with micronutrients from sea kelp, and it really gives your plant everything that it needs to thrive. You can use it every single time you water. You just mix in 1 teaspoon in your watering can and water every single time so that it gets that steady dose of nutrition, and that is really the best way to feed your plant to make sure that you have all of the nutrients your plant needs. The next step is that if you've figured out that your plant has root rot, and that means brown spots, dropping leaves, etc., you're gonna wanna treat it in a hurry. We make a root supplement that actually kills any bacteria and boosts your plant's own immunity to recover from root rot within 24 hours. So what you do is you mix the root supplement into the water and you water all over the plant, all throughout the root ball. Make sure that the product gets all throughout your plant, and that will boost your plant's immunity. It kills any fungus, any bacteria, and it makes your plant recover as quickly as possible from this root rot problem. So I think the last thing that you could do, and maybe the most drastic, is to repot your plant. So if you figured out that your plant isn't draining well, that it's sitting in water, that the soil is too moist, or maybe the soil looks musty or smells bad, you're just gonna wanna kind of start fresh and repot your plant. And so I have full videos on how to do this, but basically what you wanna do is find a container that is not too big for your plant, that's maybe 2 to 4 inches in diameter, larger than your current container. And then you're gonna wanna put a layer of smart gravel on the bottom of your pot. This is my favorite way to plant a Fiddle Leaf Fig, so they're never sitting in water, and it really reduces the chance of your plant getting root rot. So you want to make sure you're using a container with a large drainage hole or several drainage holes. You put one layer of the houseplant smart gravel, which is these big balls that basically lift up the root system and keep it from ever sitting in water. And then we actually make a Fiddle Leaf Fig soil that's the perfect mix. So it's very light and airy, and it doesn't hold on to too much water, so it can really reduce the risk of root rot. Or you could make your own soils. You could mix cactus mix with regular indoor potting soil, and that's a really good way to lighten up indoor soil so that it's appropriate for a Fiddle Leaf Fig. So you want to repot your plant using the smart gravel, a good Fiddle Leaf Fig soil, and then just make sure that you're not packing it too tight, because those roots need to be able to breathe and they need to be able to grow as well. One of the really cool things about our soil is that it's actually sterilized, so there's not going to be any pathogens or bacteria in it because it's sterilized within the bag before it ships. So once you've repotted your Fiddle Leaf Fig, you're giving it the best new home, the best drainage, and the best chance for survival in the future. All right, now the last tip I want to give you is just to use a soil meter every single week to check on your plant. I mentioned that the most common way that people kill their plants is overwatering. So before you water, you're going to want to check to make sure your plant is ready for more water. So you can use a soil meter to see how wet your plant is at the roots and decide when to water. I hope these tips were helpful, and I hope your plant recovers in a hurry. If you have any questions or you want to learn more about how to take care of your Fiddle Leaf Fig, watch our webinar, the Ultimate Fiddle Leaf Fig Care webinar, and that goes through everything and the most common problems that we see. I hope this was helpful. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.